Page 47, Palms in the Moonlight. I'll go through the process I used to learn a piece of music. Let's see what we end up with. I look it over, I see it's 3 pages long, so we have to deal with a page turn. We'll have to talk about that. The clef signs, at least to start, are treble and bass. There's no sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major. So do the C major scale. Go ahead and do the A minor scale and do the arpeggios. The arpeggios at least 1 octave up and down. But it's the trill and tremolo exercises that will do you the most good on that. 6/8 time signature, which explains why there's so many dotted quarter notes and eighth notes. An eighth note gets a count. Here, I'm going to kind of shorten the video on part of this. I'm going to take both hands together because it's only one hand or the other. And the left hand plays here, and the right hand plays that. So it's like the left hand comes over, measure 2, and gets the last note. LH, that's what that is. And then come back down. See, the left hand is connected. The right hand, you have a rest. 1, 1, 1. Be sure and don't hold these notes in the right hand down. When you get to top of page 48, it's a different section, a different melody. Here, make sure you can play that okay. In the left hand, cross over. Try and connect these. You can connect these if you can, and once you figured out the notes hand separately, then you can try this all together in this section. So it's here, here, and here. And then measure 25 or so, you're back like you were at the beginning. The same kind of thing. However, look out, because when you get to the top of page 49, it's a different harmony. You look, watch these accidentals. I'll measure 33 here. F sharp. Here. Sounds different. So it sounds different. An F sharp, A sharp. And then up here, back like you were at the beginning. Okay. So I work out the notes and the rhythms, and then I'll go back through it just a little bit at a time and work out the hesitations. Once I do that, I think about the articulation, and here it's very connected. You can lift up for the phrasing. You have to lift up because you're moving your hand around. But on page 48 here, it's a new phrase. You have to move, and the fingering here. I mean, otherwise I don't like that fingering, but since we got to lift up for the phrase, well, I'm not going to worry about it. And I measure 24. Look out, the E is tied. You're just adding the G and B to it. So it's all pretty connected for the most part. And then the dynamics. I go to the melody. You got to figure out what the melody. At the beginning, it's the left hand that's doing it. Here. And so whatever the dynamic is, applies these eighth notes are soft. Now, measure 17, you're moderately loud, is here. Soft. So you could do the dynamics. As far as the speed goes, there's some ritardandos and odd tempos in here. You want to be careful on those. It says moderato, but that's the overall feel of it. And here, it's kind of the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to feel these. If it were the eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's a little slow. I would prefer it flow. We're talking Palms in the Moonlight or something. I'm not sure what they're talking, but I want a little bigger breeze than that. Somewhere in the, I don't know if that's really a moderato field. That's what's marked. They give you a metronome marking, a dotted quarter note, which goes along with the natural accent. So it's like 1, 2. That's where I was going. 1, 2. So for about the speed. On measure 8, you get a poco retardando. You want to slow down a little bit. And then an alt tempo. On page 48 at the top, it says poco animato. It means a little animated. It means speed it up a little bit. Speed it up a little bit, and then in measure 24, you're slowing down. All those notes are down at the end. That's 4 notes. I added here and then this. That's slowing down, and then alt tempo is not correct for measure 25. Alt tempo. If I do an alt tempo, I'm going to go back to animated. I'm going to go back to whatever speed I was doing when I was animated. This should say tempo primo or tempo 1 with a Roman numeral 1 or something. It means go back to the speed you were at the beginning. And that's this. That's what it really should be. So I think that's an error. So once I have an idea of that, then I'll add in the pedal. First we'll try the pedaling that's marked. How's it going? It looks like they're pedaling the first natural accent beat. 1, 2, 1, 2. If that works okay, we'll go with it. If not, we'll need to adjust. So I'm going to push the note down first and then the pedal. I'm going to change the pedal after I play the note and overlap. If you want a little silence, you lift the pedal up with the hand, so we get a little silence. Between measures 8 and 9, I would connect this. I would go ahead and overlap it. I would overlap that to connect it. Now we get to the bottom of the page, then you can lift up to go on to the next page. 1. Swing thing. It's more of an effect. And it works out, so try that if you want. Measure 23, look out. We don't want to smear the melody. I don't like that at all. So I'm not sure I would pedal that here. I think I would lift the pedal up for the second half of the measure. So it's measure 23, here, and then lift up. And then back to doing what you were doing at the beginning. So you're not showing any pedaling for measure 25. That's an error. It should be pedaled just like you were at the beginning. Now, at the end, measure 43, you're pedaling all of this. And then no pedal. And then push the pedal down right after the last note. And then everything comes up together. That's my idea of the pedaling. Now we need to talk about this page turn, because it's kind of important when you're playing that you not mess up the rhythm because of a page turn. I've heard people reading music and performing where they just stop and turn the page and then go on. That's like the worst thing you can do as far as I'm concerned. No. Figure out a way you can get that page turned without messing up the rhythm. And there's a number of possibilities. One is you memorize the piece. That's always the best one. Or at least memorize page 47, or whatever, a little bit of it. Then you don't have to worry about the page turn. If you don't want to do that, maybe there's somebody who can turn the page for you. That comes in handy. If not, you got to turn the page yourself. Then we got to study, where can I turn the page and not mess up the piece any more than I have to? Well, if there's a place where one hand or the other is not busy, then you can use that part to turn the page right quick. You might have to memorize a measure or two in the process. That's okay, you can usually do that. And then you just turn the page with whatever hand isn't busy and then keep going. In this piece, both hands are busy. That doesn't work. So then what do we do? Well, the last choice is to leave out notes. We don't want to leave out notes. But if you have to leave out notes, you have to leave out as few notes as possible and no melody notes. The melody notes have to be there. So it's at the bottom of page 47. Here, if you can, you almost have to play that C in the right hand. That way you can do that. That frees up your left hand just for an instant to turn the page. One possibility. That's sometimes we do that. We'll play a note that's meant for one hand. We'll do it in the other hand so that frees that hand up so it can turn the page. Works sometimes. Another thing we can try or study is the music the same on one page as it is on another? Because if the music on page 47 were the same as somewhere on pages 48 and 49, then we could just read that music on those pages and we don't have to worry about page 47. It isn't. Unfortunately, about half of it is. Half of it is the same as when you start on measure 25. That's the same as the beginning. And it stays that way all the way to the bottom of page 48. It's pretty much the same as the beginning, pretty close. But then it changes. So that doesn't work very well. So I'm going to recommend, in this case, that for the last measure on page 47, that last C, play that in the right hand. Go here instead of here, move your hand up into this position and go here for the right hand. And that way you just hear, and then you're doing this right quick with the left hand, and then you go on. You might hesitate a little bit. You can practice the page turn. We do practice page turns to try and smooth that out, to get that page turned as quickly as possible. Now remember these swells going up and down here? Let's do a play with me here on this. I can't do a page turn and a play with me. So I'm going to do page 47. I'll give us 6 counts to come in. Then I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn the page. I'll give us another 6 counts to count us in. And we'll do pages 48 and 49. I'm not doing louds and softs. I am going to pedal it like I suggested, or I'll try to. Now let's see, just checking notes and rhythms. That's all this is for. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. 5, 6. 5, 6. 5, 6. And turn the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, go. 2. 2, 6. 5, 6. 3, 2, 3.